Hello and welcome everyone to our webinar Unlocking Exceptional Customer Support, focused on migrating from Zendesk to DevRev because you and your customers deserve better. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Meghesh Toshaniwal and I lead the customer support product here at DevRev. It's a pleasure to be your host today and I'm thrilled to be joined by Eyal. Eyal is a seasoned leader who's been at the helm of Binah.ai's global support and success team for the past 3 years. He brings over 23 years of experience across various domains like support engineering, business analysis, and professional services. He has significant experience in health tech, ad tech, travel tech verticals, and his track record includes building high performing teams, implementing data driven processes, and optimizing client experiences. Hi, Eyal. Welcome. And thank you so much for taking the time out today. Can you tell us a little bit about Bina.ai?
Sure. Hello, Meghesh. Hello, everyone. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me for this very valuable webinar, I believe. So at Binah.ai, over the past 7 years, and with tens of PhDs, research employees, we developed a technology that basically allow organizations to offer end users to take a selfie scan, a video selfie scan of 60 seconds and get vital signs, health checks, blood biomarkers, etc. We use very impressive cutting-edge technology of machine learning, image processing, AI models, of course, and we cater around 40 Fortune 500 companies already and many more organizations from different verticals, from the insurance companies, car manufacturers, healthcare, governments, administrations, and so on. So
Yeah.
basically, we bring health checks everywhere and anytime, and we are very thrilled to offer this technology to the world.
Awesome. And I'm sure with the customer base that you just mentioned, your customers are spread across different geographies and uh, providing obviously support and success to uh, these customers. How's that experience been like over all these years outside of DevRev as well?
Sure. Yeah. So over the more than 3 years, I'm managing the global teams, support and success teams. Of course, we work around the clock, following the sun. We have clients all over the world, whether it's Asia, Europe, Africa, the Americas, and so on. And we need and we thrive to provide, as a support that will par with our cutting edge technology. So basically, and we will talk, about it, I think, a lot during this webinar. We were seeking to have a platform that will power with the technology that we offer our clients. We wanted to bring the experience and we wanted to bring the innovation based on an AI first with the support platform that we're working with, which is DevRev, to our clients and for ourselves as well, and to be more efficient, just like we bring the cutting edge technology with our product.
Right. And yeah, that's great to hear. And like just going back a little bit, how did you first hear about DevRev? What was that? Where did you hear about us? And yeah.
So I got approached by the DevRev team, and just like many other platforms that you get approached by and introduced to over conferences, webinars, LinkedIn, and so on. And it met us and myself personally in a very good spot that I was starting to think about what is the next step that we need to do? What is the next step that we at Bina, at my department, need to bring and need to enhance and need to get better with in order to offer better experience, better tools, better analytics, and better platform for ourselves and for myself and for my agents. So it met me in a very good space, of time. And we started to talk. I mean, I was a little bit hesitant at the beginning, I must say. It wasn't like a love at first sight, to be honest. Um, but over time, and as we kept the discussion going, I understood that I want to learn more and I want to explore and I want to think about moving to DevRev because I started to understand that I could use the offer in a great way and that it will provide the benefit I'm looking for. And sometimes that I could not even think about. And then we kept the discussion and then it came to materialize, and then demos and the discussion kept in progress until we made the move.
Yeah. And before DevRev, I know you've been using DevRev for last 6 months. How long did you use Zendesk for before that?
Sure. So when I came to Bina, Zendesk was there
Mm.
already. And I know Zendesk for many years. I mean, I'm more than 23 years in the industry. And in many organizations that I've been working for, Zendesk was there as the benchmark support platform. So I know Zendesk
Mm.
very well.
Right.
Um, so I came and Zendesk was there with the automations, with the platform, with the processes. And you know what? Everything worked.
Mm.
But
Mm.
um, when you talk about legacy platforms, and don't get me wrong, Zendesk is a well known and of course like well known in the industry. It's working good. It delivers whatever it delivers. Fine, it's working. But then you come across the question, why shifting, why moving, why doing this process,
Yeah.
this progress? And I believe that I looked at myself as someone who, you know, doing their shopping and their experiences and their banking account and everything I manage through the internet. And
Mhm.
I get over the last, especially over the last 2 or 3 years, um, huge enhancements in the way that organizations are communicating with me and offering me the support. And I wanted to do better for my clients. And I think that was the major motivation for me because I felt that the current offer that I had from Zendesk um, was okay, but could be better.
Yeah.
And maybe a company that is built, from step one with AI in mind and very enhanced tools
Mm.
could deliver a better and more impressive and more easy processes to our clients and to ourselves. So I think this was the major motivation. And on top of that, I wanted better support
Yeah.
from my support platform provider.
Mm.
Okay, so as a smaller organization, I thought that I could get the level of support that I'm getting from DevRev, and this is exactly what I wanted, and we'll discuss about it in more details, I think, during the webinar. A dedicated team that
Mm.
works with me and really acts as my partners
Mm.
um, during this, not only implementation, but during the entire life cycle and the entire process that we're doing with you guys.
Right.
And I think these two were the major motivation behind the shift.
Right. And when you started looking out, you said, like, obviously, you spoke about challenges that you were already facing with Zendesk. What key objectives or goals you had in mind uh, quantitatively when you started looking out for a new tool in the market? Like, how are you evaluating those tools, obviously, in terms of ease of migration being one, but also in terms of like what was your key objective that you're trying to achieve uh, from the tool that next you brought in to provide support?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that first of all, I wanted more advanced tools, more
Mm.
advanced analytics, more advanced AI-based tools for my clients. in order to have under the big umbrella of self-service, let's call it this way. And we're very happy with the offer that we got from DevRev with the AI-based search bar that is acting as
Yeah.
an near human advisor for our clients for their questions.
Yeah.
Of course, the very enhanced chatbot that we're implementing these days that not only gives the conversation abilities and great answers to our clients, but also opens automatically the ticket behind the scene and tracking it. And so this super sophisticated, but yet very simple to the end users that we cater. I think these were the main things that I wanted to bring, like a jaw-dropping support experience for our clients that I didn't have yet with Zendesk, and it was very easy to implement because it's based in the system of DevRev. So from step one, so it's already there.
Yeah.
And I was also happy to find about the other AI-based, very sophisticated tools that DevRev offered my agents and myself also as someone who managed the operation.
Yeah.
um, Whether it's summarization of tickets, which make it super easy for me, to go through longer tickets with many Q&As and iterations with the clients, and I can just summarize them like really quickly, into a few sentences that give me the essence of the ticket. Or um, my agents really love, the option that automatically being offered similar tickets, which are very, very accurate from past resolution of past tickets in order to help them resolve tickets, current tickets in a quicker, more efficient way without the need to escalate or to wait or to move to product or dev team for escalation. So this, I think, AI umbrella of services that is embedded, I think that this is what exactly I wanted to
Mm.
see uh, when shifting, and this is the added value, the edge that I wanted in the support offer that we offer our clients and agents.
Right. And when you decided to make the shift, you said you had a little bit of jitters around migration, and that was one of your key things that was going on in your head. Uh, talk to us a little bit about how the migration process was. How much effort did your team have to put in during the migration process, and how much effort went in from, let's say, what help did you get from our side? And how easy or difficult was it for you at the end of the day? Yeah.
Okay, so we decided to shift.
Mm.
Scary.
Mhm.
Why is it so scary? It's scary because these are big platforms, okay? You have the connections to other platforms, you have the API connections, you have the processes embedded already, you have all the macros, all the automations, all the shifting of data from platform to platform. It's scary. I mean, it's a big project. I think a few factors made it easier for us and for myself in order to manage this project and also convince and harness our management at Bina to walk with me and do this migration, do this shift to DevRev. So I think, first of all, it's all about the team, right? At the end of the day. So I think the DevRev team is really conjoined with the great features of the DevRev platform. The DevRev team is a winning factor, and I'll explain why. From day one, and even before we signed, we had a dedicated team as our partners, a dedicated team from DevRev, okay? Solutions architects, account executives. We have Greg on the call here, who is really my partner in this project, and still
Oh,
until
that's
now. And once we have this team working with us, it made everything easier. And I'll be more, let's drill down a little bit. So first of all, project management, okay? It's a big project. We need to manage it, okay? We didn't have to create this project and think about all the steps from day one. Because from day one, we had the DevRev team creating with us the project, all the milestones, all the different steps and things that we needed to do, timelines, obstacles, helped us with anything we needed.
Mm.
So this was a major, major part with the succession of this project. So, by the way, we have the team on Slack. So we have an open Slack channel with the team until today. Whenever we need something, Slack conversation, opening tickets for DevRev, hopping on calls, Zoom calls once every week or two, and discussing new features, what's about the future, what about the current tickets. So we have a team at our side. This is super, super important. I think this is the main factor. Um, Other than that, we had to discuss and get help with all the API connectivities. We are connected to several platforms with DevRev,
Like,
whether it's
yeah.
Jira, Salesforce, our own licensing service, which we
Mm.
have like an open API that feeds the dedicated custom fields we built on DevRev very easily on a daily basis and help us understand, the consumption, the usage, and the quality of usage of all of our clients. So this was very easy. I mean, whenever we had to do something a little bit more complicated, we
Mm.
had a dedicated solution architect from DevRev on call with our DevOps if needed, and
Yeah.
they resolved everything like as planned. So I think the key factor is once we decided that it's go time, I think we're talking two
Yeah, how long?
weeks
2 weeks. Mm.
something like that, if I remember correctly. It's around the 2 weeks of working on this project, including, of course, some QAs and including the fact that after these 2 weeks, we worked in parallel, Zendesk and DevRev, in order to really QA in the real world, that everything is playing correctly according to what we expect, and it was very successful.
Mm.
Then afterwards, we just shift 100% to DevRev, and that made the project uh, much less scarier and complicated than what I thought uh, it would be, because
Mm.
it's a big project, but it made it was easier. It was easier. And I think with regards to data migration, because you
Yeah,
want to bring all the data to DevRev.
yeah. What data
Um,
did you have? Like how many tickets and accounts, contacts, like contacts, and we're talking about a lot of data that we brought in from Zendesk and articles, etc. So how much data are we talking about that we got over?
So yeah, over time and over like years of um, working with so many clients and tickets and accounts and contacts and everything else, all the data that you import from other platforms. So it's a lot of data. It's a lot of data. So
Mm.
uh, two factors here made my work way easier and painless. I think the first one was all the what DevRev calls airdrop,
Mm.
okay, which is basically the easy import of information, including very easy and semi-automatic mapping to the custom or dedicated fields on DevRev of all the information from other platform, whether it's Jira, whether it's Zendesk, whether it's HubSpot, Salesforce,
Mm.
from all the major and platforms that organizations work with. So it was very nice to see that, only a few clicks and only a few calibrations and configurations of the specific synchronization that you need and the frequency of synchronization, etc.
Yeah.
It's starting to play.
Mm.
It's playing correctly. We needed just a few fine tuning, but it was like painless and very it streamed very well.
Yeah.
And I think the other feature that I really like until now, until today, is if you want to go there now or in the other part of the conversation, Meghesh, is regarding the knowledge base.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we're
so if you,
going to talk about it definitely. Yeah, I'm going to deep dive with you on that. Uh, but just to let everyone here get a glimpse of how the migration process looks like, we're going to
Mhm.
take a short break and do a quick poll, and then Art is going to come in and show a little bit of the magic that you just spoke about and show a glimpse of the
Sure,
airdrop to everyone here. And then I'm going to get back to that. So
absolutely.
yeah, let's do the poll first. Yeah. So yeah, uh, if you could just everyone, if you could just take a couple of minutes, it's a short poll to yeah, if you could just fill it in. All right, just a minute more. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Art to show us some of the magic of airdrop. Uh, hey there, Art. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah. Cool. So let me just go ahead and share my screen, and then I'll kind of go over what I'll be covering here. Uh, Here it is. Cool. So I guess to get started, I'll show what an import looks like, how you bring over the data, the sources that we support. And then I'll show what that data looks like in DevRev, how you can make use of it, and kind of what are the advantages that you would have versus some other type of migration tools. So first of all, let's go ahead and kick off an import. So if you were to go to your DevRev settings, imports, this is available to everyone basically out of the box. You'll see I already have some imports from Jira, from Zendesk, from Salesforce. Once they're in DevRev, you can connect all that data, right? So even if it's an issue from Jira, an account from Salesforce, a ticket from Zendesk, they can all be connected. And I'll show what that looks like. But let's go ahead and just do another import here. And you'll see these native sources. There's also more available in the marketplace. I won't show that because we have limited time, but it's not just these sources. There are more via the marketplace, and it's easy if you wanted to add your own and take advantage of the built-in airdrop features. You can do that as well. So let's go ahead and connect to this Jira instance. You'll see there's a few projects. You may choose to bring in all your projects, one of your projects, or whatever combination. So let's just go ahead and bring this one in. and it kicks off. And at this point, what it's going to do is it's downloading metadata, it's downloading some of the data, but not everything, because we're going to ask you, hey, which data do you want to bring over? How do you want to map it? And that's this process here. So one of the things you'll first see is, yeah, thank you. Yep. One of the first things you'll see is like, hey, which types do you want to bring in? You've selected the project that you want to bring into, but you could further narrow it down, bring only specific types if you want. Let's go ahead and bring in everything. And here you could filter down even further. I'm not going to do it, but let's say you only want to bring in issues that are open and things like that. You could do that as well. Lastly, here you get to decide, hey, this is what we're bringing in from Jira. What is it going to be in DevRev? A comment's a comment. That's pretty obvious. For issues in Jira, you may want them to be tickets or you may want them to be issues. Almost all the time it's going to be an issue, but sometimes people do use it for support. Then we'll map fields. By default, DevRev is going to map most of the fields for you unless you have something custom, like a custom priority or custom stages. All of that will come in and you could do some of that mapping here. Lastly, we'll also ask you, hey, what other fields do you want to bring in? So you need to bring in certain fields that are required, like name and description and so on. But then you have the option, if you have custom fields, you can choose to bring them in or not. The same thing with some of the system fields. So after you've done that, then the import basically happens. And at that point, we're bringing in all that data that you wanted. Once it's done, like it is done here, you have the option to say, hey, I want you to keep on syncing every so often. Oh, and even sync back to Jira as well. But cool. So let's go look at that, what that looks like. And you have this nice report, says everything we brought in. We brought in a bunch of users, a bunch of issues, and so on. We didn't create any users because we already imported a different Jira project. So all the users were created then.
Yeah.
Now, I did want to show what is the difference, right? So now it's in DevRev. It's an issue in DevRev. What can I do with that? What's so great about it? Well, not only did we bring in the issues, we brought in the relationships between those issues. The same thing applies in Zendesk. Not only do we bring in tickets, we bring in accounts, the contacts, the comments they made, and all that. And it's no different here. You have this kind of rich context, images come in, rich text comes in, comments, the users that made them come in. You won't lose any of that. And what's more, because analytics is so important, let's go look at some of the closed items. And I don't want to see these. So you'll see that some of these closed items here. You'll see, hey, this was created September 10th. And this was modified. So it was created September 10th. But that might not be the actual date it was imported, right? So this is the actual date that comes from Jira. And that was probably a bad example because that was an old import, but this one's a better example. I just brought it in right now. It's the import you saw me do. And you'll see that, hey, it was actually created in August and it was closed sometime in August as well. So you get all of that, which is going to be very useful for analytics. But now let's zoom over to Zendesk. That's what we're talking about here. And these all came from both Zendesk and there's some Salesforce one. You have some nice features. You could do things like, hey, I only want to show the stuff that came over from Zendesk right now. I don't care about the other ones. And you'll get that. You'll notice we bring in the customers, who it was assigned to, and so on. But we don't just bring over tickets. One of the things we had talked about here were articles. So once all of this data is actually in DevRev, you can make use of it just as if you had created it here. And that includes both showing it kind of in the portal. So these came over from Zendesk, and for AI. So let's go ahead and look at what that looks like. This is the DevRev portal. It's tied to this airdrop demo, which is this org I did this import to. We brought in over the articles. Your end users, this is an end user view, can navigate and look at that article with images and all of that good stuff. But better yet, they can make use of AI, whether it's via the plug or your developers in-house ask questions or your end users via the portal, like I'm going to do here. They can make use of that imported items. Can I use docs? Docs. And then AI will generate and use that data, whether we brought it in from Zendesk or Salesforce, or we created it natively. So that's pretty much this whirlwind demo. If there's any questions, go ahead and put them on chat, but I'll hand it over to you for now, Meghesh.
Thank you so much, Art, for that. And yeah, I mean, uh, as everyone saw, and as Eyal also explained, the process of migrating and bringing over information is is pretty simple. It's very straightforward, and it's all there in your control, and you choose what gets brought in and what get doesn't. Yeah, coming back to our discussion around knowledge, I do want to touch upon that. And Art also showed how we brought in articles from Zendesk. So, talk to us a little bit about what role does knowledge play in your day-to-day support operations, and how bringing over knowledge onto DevRev has impacted your support operations? How has it impacted your team's productivity?
Yeah, absolutely. Super important knowledge base. So basically, we have knowledge of, I might say, like two types. Okay, we have the support knowledge, okay, the support articles for our clients and for ourselves also. Um, and we have our external API documentation center, which is basically a website with more than 100 pages, okay, for our clients, developers. So they're going usually there, and they have all the code examples and all the functionalities of the code in the different platforms and so on. So extremely important. Why? Because first of all, it has to be updated quite frequently, because we are launching and releasing SDK versions frequently, and we need to update the knowledge base, right? And also, many of our tickets and discussions with our clients that open tickets are quite complicated. Okay, we don't have many like one question, one answer, end of ticket. Not so many. So we have to rely on this knowledge, past knowledge of resolved tickets as well. And here come some of the good parts that we're experiencing with DevRev. So with regards to updating the API documentation center knowledge into DevRev, so it will feed the AI search bar in the portal and the chatbot. We have the amazing feature. I couldn't say enough good words about how happy I am with how I import and how I update DevRev with this API documentation center. But it's not that I don't need to go one page by one page and update and upload and thinking that, okay, I'm wishing it will be successful. No, I just put the main URL in the smart import feature. And then it breaks down and it goes through the entire website, all the pages, create automatically the articles, and feeding after 1 minute, everything is set. If I ask the right question about the new SDK version, I will get the right answer because this is now my knowledge base. So this is unbelievable how easy it is and how well it works. Now, second, about past tickets and about the knowledge for my agents. So let's talk 1 minute about it. So a ticket comes in, quite complicated one, okay? So DevRev will offer my agents 3 past tickets that might be related, and usually it will be very relevant to the current ticket, to the current new open ticket. And it will also offer the articles that might be related to this ticket. And by the way, when my clients, if they search and ask the question in the AI search bar, they will get the same. They will get the AI human answer,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And they will get suggestions also to the relevant articles. But let's go back to the to my agent. So one of the reasons we are already seeing a lower resolution time is we see it on a weekly basis that we have tickets that in many cases in the past, we were to escalate them to the product team, to our development team, wait a day, wait another 2 days, get answer, clients are waiting. So we are deflecting these successfully with the help of the recommended past tickets or relevant articles that are based on this knowledge that is automatically built in the system. So I don't need to feed the system with the past tickets knowledge, it's already there. So this works extremely well. So two things, knowledge base, feeding URL, and it's automatically breaking the articles into the new knowledge, and relying on the AI that keeps crawling through the past tickets in order to suggest my agents the relevant answers. So
Yeah.
knowledge is everything, and I think that we're very happy with the offer that we're getting.
Yeah. And uh, I mean, uh, talk to us a little about like how you are measuring, quantifying the results that you're seeing, uh, not just anecdotally, but how are you able to track things, whether your queries that your customers are asking, what are getting answered, what are not getting answered, and how are you deciding based on basis that like what needs to be updated and what's working, what's not working in terms of knowledge articles. So how are you making those decisions on a day-to-day basis? How's that working out?
Right. So we have in our back office on DevRev, on the reporting part, we customize and it's already there basically, a report that shows us also the success searches that were answered with what did clients asked and what the algorithm offered them, what articles and what answers. So
Mm.
we can see that everything is playing correctly and fine tune if something need to be like corrected or fine tuned. But not only that, I think the most important report here is what clients asked and didn't get responses.
Mm.
So the algorithm, the knowledge was not there.
Mm.
Okay. So yes, there are situations when clients will ask questions and there is no answer because there is no knowledge about the specific question. And this is the important thing. So on a weekly basis, we are going through this report and seeing all these questions that were not answered yet.
Mm.
And very easily, we open a Q&A article or updating a current article with this knowledge. And it's very nice to see that 30 seconds later, when I demo the same question, I now get the right answer. So dynamic deflection of tickets. And this is a very strong, it's a small feature, right? But it's a very important one to dynamically update and fine-tune your knowledge base and your offer to the clients. And over time, I believe it will reduce more and more the need for clients to actually open tickets and just get the right answer and keep on with what they're doing. So this is a fantastic small little feature, but very smart.
Right. Yeah. And probably how does your team feel about uh, you know, using DevRev on a daily basis? What are some of the good and bad things that you're hearing from your team that is using DevRev on a daily basis? And if you can touch upon what have personally uh, been your biggest wins when you spoke about like obviously your customers being able to deflect and you being able to track, but how does your like a day play out, and how's your team feeling now that it's been 6 months using DevRev? What do they come and tell you as part of using DevRev? Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for the bad parts, I don't have much. Um, I think that, like with any new platform, after you're working years in a specific platform and you know it by heart and you get used to all the screens and you know by heart and with your eyes closed every button and every field. So I guess there was some short period of time to get used to the new platform and how it works and how the tickets look like and how you open this report and that feature. And so, it's just a natural step, But I think that my team enjoys the most is that built-in features of summarization of tickets, of offering the right. We discussed about it, but that's the real deal. I mean, if you offer the agent the right
Mm.
article and the right past tickets and how we resolve them and offer them a very easy, if sometimes we need to escalate, right? I mean, it's not that we don't need any longer, but and even the great connection with Jira that allow us to open Jira tickets super quickly from DevRev, from the integration. So all these parts make my agents and myself live with working in the support easier.
Yeah.
And this is why we're happier because we are working very hard.
Mm.
So the easier the platform will be that will cover for us and allow us to work in a more smarter way and a more easier way and more relevant
Mm.
answers. So it brings the joy
Yeah.
to our team.
Yeah. Awesome. And just one last question before we end. Like, what are you most excited about? What are you most looking forward to uh upcoming in the next 6 months, 1 year? What are your plans? What are you thinking about? Like you said, you always think about the future. What are you most excited about with Dev? Yeah.
Definitely chatbot. We are looking forward to implement. We just need to fine-tune some things in our end before doing this step, but we're really close. I believe that by the end of the year, it's going to be embedded already and fully production, and offering our clients, developers, to interact with the chatbot. And for the first time, we will have like this super sophisticated and very friendly tool that they can use. And
Mm.
it will also allow us to be more um, t- t- to allow better interfaces with tickets with our clients, even easier than what it is at this point. So uh, really looking forward for it and to see the great. I've saw a few demos and we already started to play with it and it looks amazing. So we're really looking forward to implement it and launching it to production.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Aya. That was really insightful. It is always great to have you come and talk about hear nice things that you have to say and uh, portray the honest opinion and your journey and talk through your journey. Thank you so much for taking out the time today and joining us
Absolutely.
and being here with us. That's and I would like to show our appreciation for the audience, each of who you joined us. As we love to share a guide filled with success stories, the impact on the return on investment, and you'll find the link to our Zendesk migration success guide in your follow-up email. Don't miss out on that. Thank you so much again, everyone, for joining, and thank you, Eyal, for yeah.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.